Hey guys, and welcome to my review of the new album by The Cribs, 24 Rockstar Shit. The Cribs are a British indie rock band who have a massive cult following around not only the entire UK but pretty much the entire world. They've had massive success in the UK especially, and they've even gone on to inspire many indie bands, including most recently bands like Catfish and the Bottlemen. For those who don't know, the band started as a lo-fi garage rock band, but as they progressed they started to take more inspirations from sort of the post-punk revival scene in the late 2000s, as well as alternative rock music as well. Their album Men's Need, Women's Need, Whatever is honestly one of my favourite albums in the genre due to its catchy melodies, fast-paced riff and just unrelenting energy from start to finish. This album was the band's breakthrough album and led to them playing on some of the biggest main stages of huge festivals around the world and supporting bands such as Sex Pistols, Arctic Monkeys and Franz Ferdinand. And in 2009, after leaving the band Modest Mouse, Johnny Marr from the Smiths even joined and played for their album Ignore the Ignorant and toured with the band for a couple years as well. However, recently the band have actually started to revisit their past a little bit, including doing a 10-year anniversary tour for the album Men's Need, Women's Need, Whatever, and even creating this new album which returns the band to their early lo-fi sound. 24 Rockstar Shit returns the band to their very lo-fi garage rock sort of punk inspired sound and also embraces elements of grunge and 90s alternative rock. With the album, the band brought on producer Steve Albini, who's probably best known for producing albums such as Surfer Rosa by the Pixies and In Utero by Nirvana. He also produced the band's 2012 album In the Belly of the Brazen Bull as well. And as expected from him, he's come in and taken the band back to basics and stripped away the anthemic sound of their previous albums. And right off the bat, the sound of the album is going to divide a lot of fans depending on what era of the band they prefer. If you prefer more of the catchy anthemic sounds of albums like Men's Needs onwards, you're going to be very, very disappointed because this album kind of brings them back to the very gritty and aggressive sound of their first couple of albums. And even still, the very abrasive sound of this album is a little bit difficult to grip onto at first, but when you embrace it, the album can get really, really rewarding. The album is full of the band's signature use of fantastic, memorable guitar riffs, really impressive bass lines, and also memorable melodies as well. And in many ways, this album is kind of the complete opposite to the band's previous record, For All My Sisters, which was much more of a clean sort of pop-inspired record. This album from the get-go is relentless, raw, in your face, and strips away everything to the absolute basics of the band. The album was actually recorded live within 5 days, and you can definitely tell from each track. Each track sounds very in the moment. You can tell that there wasn't a lot of time after writing it before they recorded it, and because of that they kind of managed to capture the lightning in the bottle really, really quickly without letting it fizzle out over time. Everything on the album sounds so dirty and so imperfect. It creates this very raw, resolute sound which just sounds incredible. The album has a very DIY sound to it, something that was a massive appeal with their first couple of albums, and I think Steve Albini's production just brings out the best of the band and allows them to kind of bring themselves back to this very bare bones sound that has kind of been absent from the band for a few years now. The album has a real punk aesthetic to it where nothing really sounds perfect. The vocals purposely sound out of tune a lot of the time, and although there are points where it does feel a little bit too screeching and can be a little bit hard on the ears, for the most part the very underpolished sound creates this really cool feel to the whole thing. Although the album is definitely a lot less hook heavy than the band's previous releases, I think there are still some really memorable standout tracks on the album, including the 3 singles In Your Palace, Year of Hate and Rainbow Ridge, and also my personal favourite song on the album, which isn't a single as of yet, the closing track Broken Arrow, which I just love and has this fantastic, very almost anthemic, similar to sort of Men's Needs chorus, which just sounds incredible. All of these songs have these great choruses that even despite the raw sound of the production, it kind of begs for crowds to sing it back at them like many of the band's best songs do. The entire album is incredibly aggressive, and due to its raw production and screechy vocals, at times does sound a bit like a group of kids throwing a tantrum, which does get a little bit tiresome at times, but for the most part it has a lot of appeal and it does sound really, really great. Overall, I think this album is one that's going to split people. Those who preferred the more catchy and anthemic sounds of albums like Men's Needs and things like For All My Sisters, the newer album, people like that probably aren't going to like this album quite as much. But for those who preferred the band when they were at their more lo-fi, punk-inspired sound, they're really going to dig this album because it's kind of a middle finger to the previous more melodic sound. So because of this, I'm gonna give 24/7 Rockstar Shit by the Cribs an 8 out of 10. So I hope you enjoyed my review of the new Cribs album. I'm planning on doing a few more album reviews in this format where it's just me sitting in front of a camera, because I used to do that a little bit and then kind of stepped away from it a bit in favour of the more edited, more planned out reviews. But the problem is they take so long to do. I kind of just wanted to get some album reviews out there, so I'm doing more content, and these are a lot easier to do. So yeah, I'm gonna do a few more like these in the future, I hope. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.